Have you ever felt like your energy is constantly being drained, without knowing exactly where it's coming from? This is the effect of a system that relies on distractions, divisions, and overwork, keeping you stuck in an endless cycle. Media, technology, and consumerism create traps that directly affect your freedom and focus, pushing you deeper and deeper into a state of exhaustion and dissatisfaction. And the worst part? This process happens without you even realizing it. In this video, we'll reveal how your energy has been subtly drained since birth, and how systematic distractions, overwork, and the relentless pursuit of temporary solutions fuel this drain. You'll learn how to identify these traps, take control of your life, and begin the journey toward true freedom. If you are ready to break free from the constraints imposed by the system and regain your power, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications now. The path to transformation starts here. From the moment you were born, your energy has been drained in ways so subtle that it's hard to notice. Have you ever wondered why you feel constantly tired, even when you've slept well or tried to rest? The modern system is a master at draining your life force, using seemingly innocent distractions like overwork, incessant commitments, and seemingly endless responsibilities. A practical example? Think about the way technology consumes your day. Social media notifications, work emails, constant messages. This wasted energy not only affects your body, but also your mind, leaving a trail of stress that's hard to erase. Urbanization has exacerbated this energy drain, as it has taken us away from the simplicity of nature and thrown us into a frenetic pace. Instead of enjoying moments of calm, many find themselves trapped in endless commutes, incessant noise, and artificial lights. Have you ever noticed how a day in the city can be more exhausting than a day in nature? This is no coincidence. The energy that nature gives us back is exactly what urbanization takes away. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. There's never enough water. Then there's the problem of modern technology, which should make our lives easier, but often leaves us feeling more exhausted. Overwork and constant media connection create a false sense of productivity. How many times have you finished a day full of tasks and still felt like you haven't accomplished anything significant? This happens because the system feeds this idea that we should always be busy. It's a trap that sucks emotional and physical energy without giving us anything in return. Another draining factor is rampant consumerism. Have you ever noticed how advertisements make it seem like we always need something new to feel complete? This search for satisfaction in material objects not only distracts us, but also creates a cycle of dissatisfaction. We buy something to fill a void, only to find that the void is still there. This is no coincidence. It's a well-designed system to keep you stuck. And of course, there are social labels, which pressure us to live up to standards that don't always reflect our values. These societal divides drain emotional energy as we constantly try to fit in. Whether at work, in our personal lives, or even on social media, external expectations can be one of the biggest sources of stress. By trying to meet them all, we disconnect from who we really are and what truly matters. This disconnect leaves us at the mercy of constant distractions, dividing our focus and sapping our energy. And what's worse, we often don't even realize the impact of this. How can we recover this lost energy? Is there a way to free ourselves from this drain? Distractions today are not just accidents. They are tools deliberately designed to fragment focus and sap energy. Think of the incessant social media notifications, the constant alarming news, or even the silent pressure to meet social expectations. Each of these interferences acts like a tiny drop that drains your emotional and mental reserves. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to focus on something for long periods of time? This difficulty is not a personal flaw, but the result of a system that constantly divides your attention. Social media, for example, is a classic example of how our energy is manipulated. created to keep you trapped in a cycle of immediate rewards. It steals precious hours and drains your capacity for introspection. Who has never opened their phone to check a message and, without realizing it, spent an hour browsing without purpose? This cycle, in addition to being exhausting, prevents you from having time for activities that truly nourish your mind and soul, such as a moment of connection with nature or a meaningful conversation. News, in turn, acts as a trigger for anxiety and stress. While it is important to be informed, the constant bombardment of negative information creates a false sense of urgency and danger. This fragments your focus and drains your energy, leaving you mentally exhausted. A practical example: try limiting your news consumption to once a day and notice how your energy is renewed. This simple act can be revolutionary in a world that insists on keeping you distracted. Social labels also play a significant role in this process. From an early age, we are taught to live up to imposed expectations, such as being successful or fitting in. These labels create a constant need for external validation, which can be as draining as an emotional marathon. Think about how many times you have held yourself back from doing something because you were afraid of how others would perceive you. This energy spent on pleasing and conforming is one of the most silent forms of draining. And what about the media, which uses all of these elements masterfully? Movies, programs, and advertisements are designed to capture your attention at any cost. Often, without realizing it, you end up investing your energy in content that does little to contribute to your development or well-being. It is no coincidence that, after a series marathon, you feel more tired than relaxed. It is proof that not every distraction offers true relief. How do we navigate the midst of so many distractions? Is it possible to regain control of our own focus and energy without succumbing to modern traps? The promise of consumerism is seductive. Buy something new and feel fulfilled. But behind this idea lies a carefully constructed trap to keep you trapped in an endless cycle of dissatisfaction. Each new acquisition offers a brief moment of pleasure, but it is soon replaced by a new need, leaving you searching for something more. Consumerism is not limited to products. It saps your energy and focus, diverting your attention from deeper, more meaningful issues. This cycle is maintained by subliminal messages that associate happiness with material possessions. A person may believe that a new car or the latest technology will solve their problems, but when they achieve these goals, they discover that the void remains. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how hard you try, it will never be enough. This emotional and energetic drain is part of the system, which depends on your constant dissatisfaction to perpetuate itself. Media plays a key role in fueling this dynamic. Carefully crafted advertisements create a sense of urgency and artificial desire. Have you ever noticed how advertising often focuses on feelings, such as freedom, belonging, or success? It's as if to say that your identity depends on what you have, rather than who you are. This narrative not only divides your attention, but also drains your ability to see beyond the superficial. And the price? It's not just financial. Consumerism takes a toll on your mental health and emotional balance. The constant pursuit of new things creates stress and anxiety, especially when these acquisitions are not aligned with your values. Imagine someone in debt, trying to maintain an image of success that does not reflect their reality. This internal conflict saps energy and creates a disconnection from what really matters. However, there are ways to break out of this cycle. One practical approach is to redefine what you consider valuable. Instead of spending on material goods, investing in experiences can offer more lasting rewards. Traveling, learning something new, or even spending time in nature are all ways to nourish your soul without falling into the trap of consumerism. It's an exercise in focus and self-awareness that helps you regain energy and reconnect with what's essential. But is it possible to free yourself completely, considering that the system was designed to keep us dependent? The answer to this may lie in the ability to rediscover what truly feeds your essence. Modern city life is a paradox, full of opportunities, but also full of challenges that drain your energy. Urban environments are designed to maximize productivity, but at the same time, they minimize space for reconnection with nature and introspection. Constant noise, rush, and artificial lights create a state of permanent alert, preventing the body and mind from finding balance. Over time, this overload translates into chronic fatigue, stress, and a feeling of disconnection. Urbanization has brought with it an almost total separation from nature. In the past, daily routines were aligned with natural cycles, but today, the rhythm is dictated by the clock and the demands of the system. Imagine someone who leaves home before sunrise, spends the day confined to buildings, and returns when it is already dark. This separation from natural light and fresh air affects not only the body, but also the spirit. Studies show that spending just 15 minutes in a natural environment can significantly reduce levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Furthermore, technology, although useful, intensifies urban exhaustion. Excessive use of digital devices keeps the mind hyperactive, even during rest hours. Social media and constant notifications fragment focus and prevent moments of true pause. It is as if each virtual interaction consumes part of your mental energy, leaving less space for what really matters. This technological dependence amplifies the feeling of isolation, even among millions of people. The infrastructure of cities also contributes to this exhaustion. Crowded public transport, endless traffic, and cramped housing create an environment that saps vital energy. Imagine starting and ending your day on an overcrowded bus or subway. Your body becomes tense and your mind exhausted. This daily scenario limits your ability to relax and creates a feeling that life is an endless race, with no time to breathe. Despite all this, there are ways to counteract the effects of urban exhaustion. Creating small refuges within your routine is essential. A simple walk in a park, mindfulness practices, or even growing plants at home can help you recharge your batteries. These actions may seem small, but they have a profound impact on your well-being. The key is to prioritize moments that connect you with what is natural and true. However, the question that arises is, are these small changes enough to overcome a system that seems designed to exhaust us? Or perhaps the path to freedom requires something even more transformative. The path to freedom begins with a choice, deciding to regain control of your energy and focus. In a world that insists on distracting, dividing, and overwhelming, finding your true essence takes courage. It's not about escaping reality, but about creating an inner space where you can reconnect with your values. The first step is to recognize what's draining your life force. Ask yourself, what aspects of my routine are stealing my freedom without me even realizing it? Reconnecting with nature is one of the most powerful ways to restore lost energy. Studies show that spending time outdoors reduces stress, increases creativity, and improves mental health. A walk in the woods, or even just looking at the sky for a few minutes, can help restore balance. If living in an urban environment makes it difficult to access nature, small changes, such as growing plants or seeking out nearby parks, can also have significant benefits. Simplifying your life is another essential step. Often, feelings of being trapped come from having too much stuff, commitments, and distractions. Evaluating what really matters can be liberating. Think, for example, about how consumerism encourages us to buy things we don't need, while accumulating debt and anxiety. Reducing your reliance on material things creates space for more meaningful experiences. Instead of buying to feel good, why not invest your time in something that nourishes your soul, like learning something new or spending time with loved ones? Regaining focus takes discipline and awareness. Start with small steps, like dedicating a few minutes a day to practices that bring you presence, like meditation or journaling. These quiet moments are like anchors in the midst of chaos. They help you identify priorities and tune out unnecessary distractions. Think about how liberating it would be to not feel the need to check every notification on your phone or respond to every social expectation. However, achieving freedom goes beyond the individual. It also involves rethinking your relationship with the system. Overwork, social labels, and urbanization may seem inescapable, but there are always alternatives. Perhaps it is time to ask yourself, what am I building with my daily efforts? Is this path aligned with my values, or just with what the system expects of me? These questions are uncomfortable, but fundamental to finding a more authentic direction. As you align with what truly matters, a new horizon opens up. Energy that was once drained begins to regenerate, and your choices begin to reflect a greater purpose. But the real question is, what will you do with this newfound freedom? Now that you understand how the modern system has drained your energy, it's time to take action. How can you reclaim the focus, vitality, and freedom that you've always wanted? The key is to reconnect with your essence, simplify your life, and cut out distractions that don't serve your true values. You have the power to transform your reality. You just have to decide to take the first step. Don't fall into the trap of consumerism that promises relief, but only perpetuates a cycle of dissatisfaction. Ask yourself, what really matters? What are you putting aside because of distractions and overwork? What would it take to reclaim your energy and live according to what you believe in? If you are ready to change your life, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Don't put off until tomorrow the freedom you can achieve today.